Hi, this is Stacy's Homestead, and I'm Miss Stacy. I picked all the rest of the lemons off my lemon tree, and we're going to slice those up, put them in the freezer, freeze them up, and then that way we'll have them for some lemon water. Okie dokie. Alright, so we're going to slice these into thin slices here. I'm going to cut this end piece off, and we're going to put a few of these end pieces into this jar for some vinegar. So I like to make vinegars, and one of them is a lemon vinegar, which is good for all sorts of things. One of them is cleaning. It's a great way to sanitize your counters and clean all surfaces in a healthy way. So we're going to take this, I have a pizza pan right here, this will fit in my freezer nicely. We're going to just line the pan up with these lemons. These are some sour lemons. I usually like to eat lemon and salt, but ooh, these are super sour. So I'm just going to, they've been on the tree for quite a while, and it's past harvest time. So they just continue to get bigger and more sour as they stay on the vine or the branch. So keep on just cutting these up. And here's another end piece we're going to put in this jar. And how you make vinegar is you put sugar in it. So it's anything, any fruit, but with sugar, versus fermenting is salt. So you make a pickle and you ferment, you use salt, and you make a brine with salt. But when you make vinegars, basically it's like making wine. You let it go through the alcohol process, but then you let it touch air instead of keeping air from it, and then that's how you get your vinegars. And again, just an end piece I'm just going to put in here. So what we'll do is we'll add, this is one layer, try to get a good layer. They lay on top of each other, they'll freeze on each other, so we're trying not to do that. Good. Okay, so we got one layer, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take some parchment paper and put it on top, and then put another layer on top of that. That way they're not touching and they won't freeze together. So cut that part off, put it in my jar for vinegar. Usually I do bigger jars, but I have a lot on my counter right now of quart-sized jars, or not quart-sized jars, half-gallon jars of vinegar that I have to decant. So because I still haven't done that yet, I'm using the quart jar to save some room. We'll just make a really strong vinegar. And what you do is you just add, if you have any bug things on here, just cut those off. Make sure it's good. See, it's good on the inside. You just add your sugar. And I never measure. I just put, depending on how much I put in. Like this, I'll probably put a half a cup of sugar. Not even a half. Probably a fourth of sugar in here. And you need sugar to activate the yeast or the organisms that make vinegar. So, and they eat the sugar, so the sugar is going to go away. It's going to get eaten up. You just need it for food. So when you ferment, you create lactobacillus. That's with salt. Lactobacillus needs salt. But your yeast, your wine yeast, and they need sugar. So, and once you learn how to make vinegars, you can make alcohol. Easy. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. So just keep on layering. And I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do probably 3 layers. And then we'll put that in the freezer. And then we'll get the vinegar going. So almost done with that. Another layer of parchment or wax paper or saran wrap, or even just regular paper, anything to go in between to keep them from sticking to each other. And you just freeze it, and then you have little wedges of anytime you want. Anytime anything calls for lemon, you have lemon. We use it mainly for lemon water. My son loves lemon water. It's really good. That's how he drinks his water. And then you can put it in tea or whatever you want. I have a giant half gallon jar of lemon and honey for medicinal purposes. So I don't need to do that. But if I were, I can make a small jar. I'll just make a small side jar of that. So we're going to put just a little bit of sugar, like this much sugar. Like this much sugar. It's a third. We're going to put a third of sugar in here. Just to get those little yeasties going there. Alright, then we'll pour water in. So you pour water in right here. Like that. Put a lid over. I can put a little bit more water. So we put water in to the top, like that. And then you want to stir it every day. See, you have to keep it under the water. So anything that's out of the water is going to probably get mold on it. So you either have to put something on there to weigh it down, or do what I do, which I just stir it every day, and that's just fine. As long as I give it a good stir every day, I never get mold. You put a cloth on it and a band so you don't get fruit flies in there, and it can breathe. It needs to breathe. Now if I was going to make wine, then you don't want it to breathe. But there you go. Alright, so I have made this. I made a bunch of this. I made these, I believe these are half-gallon jars. So I made lemon, honey, cinnamon stick, and ginger ferment. And this has been in my cabinet. I had 3 of these. And this is in my cabinet for a long time. So this is pretty old, and it smells like cleaning product now. I've used up all the rest of them. I mean, I'm sure this is real strong. So I'm going to dump this one out. I just made way too much. And now with just, a few of us at home, my older kids are gone, and I just have my youngest, I'll just make 1 of these now instead of 3. So here we go. I'm going to go dump that out and then wash it, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to make a new batch of lemon, honey, ginger with Ceylon cinnamon. Not the cinnamon you get in the grocery store. It's Ceylon. Ceylon is the healthy cinnamon. So you want that one because it has health benefits. Regular cinnamon in the grocery store, if it's not Ceylon, it's not good for you. So I already put the cinnamon in the bottom, however much you want to put in. I put a couple tablespoons, 2 or 3 for this pint. I'm doing pints. I'm gonna do a pint. I was gonna do a whole gallon. I mean, I've always done like 3 gallons at a time because of my children, and we used it all winter. But I only have one at home, and we don't use it as much. So I'm just going to, and I don't want it to go bad, and it's a lot of honey for all that. So I'm going to use a pint. And we're going to cut up these lemons and put it in here. Okay. Alright, so we're going to fill our quart jar with chopped up lemons. And we want to chop them up so when we make our teas and stuff, it'll give a good flavor. We're just put this, oh yeah, we'll put that one to the side, and we're gonna chop it up into pieces so we can actually spoon a good amount in to our teas or whatever we want to use it for. By doing that, you'll get a lot of the seeds out too, if there's seeds. So I'm just going to do one with the peels on. This time I'm going to do it with peel off. Most of it. Let's see. Then let's go ahead and peel them. I'll peel it and do it with the peels off on the rest. And then we'll save these and put these in our vinegar jar that we have right here. Let's just put those in our vinegar jar that we did. We can add these in here. Add them in our vinegar jar over there. Okay, put that in here.
That's not a stereotype. I'm not saying that is the wrong way.
This is really good in the summer. I mean, in the winter or summer. When you're sick. I'll peel some more. When you have a sore throat, it's really good for sore throats. Alright, I think that's all we can fit in this. My water's overflowing there. Making a nice fermented lemon honey. You want to get as much lemons in there because you don't want to have to use so much honey. Yes, my son's watching The Office, so if you hear noise in the background, it's him watching TV. Yes. It's okay. Yes, it's okay. Yes. 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 Such a mess. Let's smash it in there. Smash, 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 smash. Let's do this one. There, that's it. Should be some sour honey. Okay, so we got that in there. Put this vinegar back away.
sorry, can I have a...
Okay, so now we have this done. And I have dehydrated, powdered up ginger root. So this is powdered ginger I dehydrated. And we're going to add just a little bit. We'll put it about just a spoon. I keep a plastic spoon in there. A spoon full of dehydrated ginger.
Now, some of you didn't understand the jokes. I misinterpreted one.
Okay, now we have our honey. I'm using this honey that is Kelly Honey Farms raw and unfiltered. So you want raw and unfiltered. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in there. Okay, let's see. Let it sit and soak on in there.
Here's my point. Swindon, you don't know me. I'm not new, but I find it quite pleasant. Right, well, he didn't. So,
it's going to do it all by itself. We'll just let it sit and soak in there all by itself through all the juices. We have these lemon skins that I already have enough lemon vinegar going on. So what we're going to do, let me clear these seeds out. We're going to take the white pithy part off. And so we're going to just, let's see if I can get a good camera angle here. There we go. We're going to just take as much of this white meat off as you can. Take all that white meat off. This part makes it bitter, so you want to take that off. See, and leave it like this part. So continue to just, you can cut that part off and then put it aside. Continue to take all the white off. Take all this white off. See, you want it like that. And this is really good for baking. And then when anything that calls for lemon zest, you have your lemon zest. So we're zesting lemon right now. So what we're gonna do is we're just do this, and then we're gonna put it in the Ninja blender, and then we're gonna dehydrate it. And then we have our lemon zest. Then we can freeze it or vacuum seal it. So, I mean, you're gonna get a lot. This just makes a lot, probably more than you need. And so then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some of it after I dehydrate it and do that. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just freeze it. And then when we have a jam or jelly that calls for lemon peels, we have it ready. Because there's quite a bit of jams and jellies that call for lemon, the skin of lemon or orange. And I already did that with the oranges. Orange season around here is already done. You harvest it mainly in February, March. It's when the oranges are ripe and ready. And the lemons, the lemons are just done. So there's no more lemons on the trees. So if we get oranges around here at the store, I know they're not from here anyways, or not the variety that we grow. Alright, so we're doing that with all of these. If you have some skin that maybe look like it's starting to get old, don't use it. That's a good skin. Yeah, so take some of it, blend it up, dehydrate it, and there you got your lemon peel. for your lemon zest. And then freeze this. I'm going to cut it into strips and freeze it for, get it ready for jelly and jams. Okay, then we're going to just chop these up into slivers here. Let's move this out of the way. There, so we'll just chop these up into like slivers. So this will be perfect. Okay, and we'll just put them in a Ziploc baggie and freeze these. There, all done. Alright, so we have 5 different ways to use a lemon. So we have our lemon, honey, cinnamon, ginger ferment. This will sit and ferment in a cupboard. Maybe take it and shake it up every couple days until you get that good ferment going, and you'll know when it starts fermenting because it'll bubble. And then just keep it in a dark cupboard for a little over a year or 2, and it's good for sore throats and just to sweeten up your teas or anything you want. So there's that, and make sure you put a rag over it just like you do with this, like the vinegar. I just have to go find one. So there's that way. And then we got our vinegar, and just make sure with anything you ferment, or if you're making vinegars, to keep the fruit products under the liquid, your brine. And if that's not possible, all you have to do is stir it every day and you're good. That's what I do. I just stir it up every day and I never have a problem. But I also will introduce some I have a lemon vinegar that's already done, so I'm going to go ahead and pour some of that in here so I get it going faster. So here's a lemon one that I have. That's pretty, it's been cooking pretty long here. So, and the top, that's just chem yeast. Sometimes you'll get white little waxy stuff on top. That's just chem yeast, and that's fine. So I'm going to put just a little tad of this in here just to start that. Just give it a little bit of start. Put a little bit more. It's okay if it overflows. And to get that chem yeast off, you can just overflow it and it'll float to the top. So when you decant, I'm going to decant this. I haven't decanted it yet. See, this is all good at the bottom. That's called the mother. So anyways, when I decant this, I'll just let the top of it overflow, and then it gets rid of the chem yeast. But it's nothing. It happens in all yeast. So, and it's just a white, like, waxy thing. I'm pretty sure it's just from the fruits, like waxy fruits. You know, the outside of the wax that's naturally on peels. Alright, so there's that. And get that going. But you don't have to, I mean, it just takes a while when you first start your vinegar. But vinegar will always start, and ferments will always start. But if you have one you've already started, it's always good to add it in there as a starter to help with your new ones. So that's what I do. And we'll put this right on here. Put your band on here. And remember, those fruit flies are going to love this, so you've got to keep it covered. You're going to have fruit flies in there and it'll ruin it. That's happened to me a couple times with my kombucha. Oh my goodness. But thank goodness that's where you keep scobies and keep extra so you can redo it. Alright, and then the next 2 things, you have the peels with the pith off, or the white meat, I guess you would call it. And I'm going to dehydrate just a few of this because I already have some. And you can just let it sit out and it'll dehydrate on its own, or put it in a dehydrator. And then I'm going to freeze the other ones because I have some jams and jellies that call for the peel of a lemon. So that's what I'll do. So in addition, of course, is squeezing. You can also squeeze and get the juices out for lemonade. And if I had a whole bunch more lemons, I would be doing that and I'd can it. But I only have a little bit left, so I'll just squeeze it for fresh lemonade. Okie dokie. Well, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye now.